Welcome, everyone. With me here, I have Sabre, the Floki head of marketing and core strategist, and MrBrownWhale, the core strategist and Valhalla lead. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you for having us. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, same. Actually, echoing whatever Sabre is saying. Long time coming, and I feel good, great, actually.
Excellent. Well, it very much has been a long time coming, but we're very excited to have you guys here. Sabre, I'd like you to kick us off. Why do you believe in Floki so much?
I think because those who know of the struggles and adversity we went through, um, I mean, I'll just very briefly summarize, but essentially we were basically, I suppose, it was a slow rug, and we lost a lot of a lot of groups, but this one particular one was like an early raiding group. I think there was about 25 in there, and I recall that a couple of them basically said, "Look, it's been great, but I'm going to bail out," and they basically sold because they didn't think that the project was going to amount to much or be saved essentially. And they said, if it looks good the other side, we might invest back in. But thanks, guys, and blah blah. And they'd left, and obviously, we know the rest. Rest is history, as they say. But essentially, because of the community that was formed off of the back of the adversity that we had to go through, basically. I don't know if Mr. Brown, if you felt the same on that front.
Yeah, well, man, like this question, it actually answers itself. Why do you believe in Floki so much? If you've been through what the Vikings have been through and see them still hanging around and doing the stuff they do, yeah, it actually reinvigorates whatever you believe. Floki is gonna make it, basically, right? So yeah, totally echoing.
I'd also just add quickly to that as well, in respect to what we have done is actually open a lot, a lot of doors as well. So, for me, it's it's quite exciting when I even see other projects. To tell you the truth, um, like trying to essentially, utilizing our playbook, shall we say, um, because obviously you've done things right, but I think one thing we can definitely take away, if nothing else, is that the legacy that we basically leave behind, we had an imprint on moving things forward, basically.
Yeah, let's not kid ourselves. We paved the way. Floki paved the way on numerous occasions, and of course, before Floki, other projects also paved the way for us. But yeah, respect where respect is due. On the marketing front, um, we've done things that yeah haven't been done before, basically.
Yeah, that's very true, right? And I think I want to dig into that a little bit more. When you talk about the marketing side, how do you think partnerships like Fury, Formula One, Wintermute, respected soccer clubs across the board further legitimize Floki and what they're doing?
I think it's just because they're established. I mean, when you're talking about some of these teams, I mean, they've been established for well over 100 years. I think it goes without saying, when you have a brand ambassador like Tyson Fury, who has gone through, um, quite publicly, serious mental health issues, which he still, fights and struggles with today. It's an amazing story because again, we have many, members in our community that can relate to that, and they often actually refer to Tyson Fury and the struggles he's been through. So it's a case of, when you can partner with someone who's like an ambassador that can inspire people. I think that it goes without saying that it will legitimize us further. Um, and again, Formula One, the partnership there, biggest brands in the world are literally fighting. I mean, fighting to get into Formula One. Um, so again, I mean, you'd have to be extremely ignorant um, to not acknowledge the fact that it legitimizes us as a true, powerhouse in this sector.
Yeah, to add to that, these partnerships don't come by themselves, right? Like these parties, they do their due diligence, and if they're able to partner with a project like Floki, that yeah in itself, I think, would legitimize any project they affiliate themselves with. Another, I think, side note here is that it's also important to choose and pick who you partner up with, because there have been a lot more offers, but we don't just pick every offer on the table. Um, yeah, Sabre can perhaps dive. Yeah.
No, that's spot on. That's absolutely spot on, Mr. Brown. As you know, especially in the early days, when we were looking into to tell you the truth, we were writing the bloody rule book as we were going. So yeah, it's you don't just jump on board. I mean, we've had so many projects and teams that want to actually onboard us, but we've had to politely decline just because it just didn't suit our model basically, or the timing wasn't right. But you know, those teams have then gone on to look at other projects in the crypto sector because you know the sector is obviously just going to get bigger and there's going to be further adoption coming. And again, this is one of the points I make, and this is not this isn't trying to be arrogant. Obviously, many people don't see what happens in the background, and actually, I can only talk about so much of it because of NDA reasons. But we've literally gone back and forth with our legal teams where it's taken months to get this right. And what happens after that is that essentially that becomes it's almost like people fork, how we fork contracts on the blockchain. People basically take a page out, they plagiarize if you like, and or recycle and offer them to other projects. The thing is, what I do know recently, because we've had quite a few more who have come back to us because they have gone to these other projects, but because these other projects haven't, especially like there's some up and coming memes and whatever, but because they haven't legitimized themselves or they haven't established an entity, and they haven't KYC'd to a further degree, um, basically they're having problems, sealing some of these, deals that, to be honest, would be pretty major for them. But this is what I'm saying. We have to, although you get a lot of people in this space and they say, "Oh, why is this team not doxed?" And da, 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 da. Even though many members of our team are doxed, we're actually doxed in the background where it really counts.
Yeah, that makes sense. And of course, when you're talking about the legitimacy and the background that's giving this life, what can you say to those who think Floki is just another meme coin? Saber, do you have any take on that?
Um, I think you'd have to be ignoring everything that we've done, and again, you're going to have um, high levels of ignorance, if that's truly what you believe. I think I don't think we have to prove ourselves. I think it's pretty obvious. We're not just another meme. I mean, you just look at Valhalla, um, and I mean, I don't see any other meme. I don't see any other project, to tell you the truth, that's putting out in such a short space of time what Mr. Brown and his team has achieved with Valhalla. So, but as far as memes go, I mean, you know, it's we started off as a joke, but we're no joke.
That makes sense. And then, Saber, also, why can you tell us really quickly why Floki brands itself as the people's crypto? What are some of the reasons behind that?
I think because you know Mr. Brown, B, um, myself, we one of the things that we spoke about very early on was trying to give back in a sustainable, as sustainably as possible. Even to tell you the truth, above and beyond that, um, we're building schools. We're trying to legitimately make a difference. For make a change in people's lives, and even within our community, we have so many amazing individuals that want to continue that, and you know fight for the push to basically make change. So we are legitimately the people's movement basically, because we legitimately care. Like we really do care. I mean, we could have from when we were breaking those records in such a short space of time that I think wasn't seen within the time that we had done it. When you consider the struggles we came through, um, we could have up and left. we could have sold. We haven't sold a single token, from this team here. Obviously, we had previous members who were on board who, saw an opportunity to exit, and that's, that is what it is. That was their decision. But we're here for the community, and I think that's why. Mr. Brown, would you not say?
100%. Look, Michael, what else would you call a people's crypto if not for us a project that came from the community that got rocked, that built the community further, that built the project further, and we're giving it back to the community, to the DAO. If anything, what else is the people's crypto? I think that's us.
I mean, that's a valid point. We are, for those who don't know, we are actually from the community. So we were all just regular investors, and we basically came together, slowly but surely. And obviously, there was lots of teething issues, as there always is whenever you get thrown into a new team. And yeah, this is where we basically found ourselves. So, and honestly, it's it's one of those that's once in a lifetime kind of situation, because I mean, yeah, I don't want to sort of bore the audience to death, because I think many of them know. But in my field that I was in before, obviously Floki, I've been marketing for near enough 18 years, and I've been lucky enough to have a few businesses, and I've worked with many people, and those who I found through Floki right now, like on this team, I mean, could easily be at the top of these companies that I basically had built previously and whatever. So it's crazy. You go decades trying to search for the right kind of people, and you go through hundreds of staff, and then a team like this comes about, and you're like, man, where have you guys been?
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, can't argue with that. MrBrownWhale, can you give us a brief introduction about Floki's upcoming Metaverse project, Valhalla? We referenced it briefly earlier. Give us a few more details there. Tell us what we can look for.
Okay. A brief introduction. That's pretty hard, but I'll give it a try. Well, Floki or Valhalla is our play to in Metaverse. It's a Viking themed Metaverse where we actually try to combine innovation on the blockchain with having a lot of fun. I mean, fundamentals. I'm fun is a really important part of fundamentals, and in a metaverse, yeah, it should be fun. In my opinion, if you have a metaverse where you can just walk around and chill with people, perhaps short term that's enticing, but in the long term, people will just leave for the other metaverse that's around. Well, Valhalla will be then a place where you can capture, fight creatures, you can raid other people, hang out with your guildmates, or just farm basically. So there's enough to do, but our core ethic or drive in building this is making things fun. So yeah, that's my brief introduction.
That's great. Okay, and why do you feel that Valhalla, the P2E metaverse from Floki, is going to separate itself from other metaverse projects? We know there's a lot of these in the news, there's a lot of buzz, but what do you think about it is going to separate it from those other projects?
Yeah, no, 100% correct. I mean, they're popping up like mushrooms. Um, we're actually going to introduce mushroom Vera soon. Vera is the creature that you can catch. But yeah, like I said, how we differentiate, we're actually innovating on the blockchain. If you look at a lot of these other projects, I don't want to throw shade at them because a lot of them are trying to do good in this heavily how would you say, like populated metaverse space right now. Like it's really convoluted. There are a lot of projects trying to do the same, but most of them just build a regular game, like the games you can already download in your Steam or Epic library on your computer, and they then use NFTs as a gimmick because, well, they think that's it. That's their entrance into Web3. We want to show the world that there's a lot more you can do with gaming on the blockchain. To be more specific, with NFTs in this case. I mean, we all know NFTs, right? Like the JPEGs, even my avatar, that's one, right? But What if you had dynamic NFTs that evolve while you're playing the game? Um, what if guilds were NFTs? What if you, as a guild member, had an NFT that wasn't transferable to other accounts, and it would evolve as you would go to different guilds? And if another guild would see you, they could see your NFT. They could see, oh, he or she joined X guild, Y guild, and C guild, and got kicked from A guild. Okay, perhaps it's not that wise to accept this guild hopper into our crew, basically. So blockchain innovation is one of the things we're going to go hard on. And in my opinion, from what I've seen behind the scenes, what we're developing, it is not out there yet. Also, something that will differentiate us is, this team. Sabre already talked about this. We have an A-class team. If you see Sabre right now marketing the hell out of Floki, what do you think he will do when he has his hands on Valhalla, a game? I mean, I'll leave him
Yeah,
to it, but
that's just a it's a dream to be marketing something with such a it's a name that's obviously trending, but it's a sexy name, let's be honest. And I mean, who wouldn't want to be at the gates of Valhalla? But I just want to add that because I think Mr. Brown's probably too modest to say so, but I'm not a gamer, right? But I have, of course, I'm a researcher, and I can see what's popping up out there. And I mean, there really is like the equivalent of, these games are like Pac-Man, if you like, to something that's a expanded universe of, something like I don't know, Animal Crossing type style game or whatever, but with so much substance. And the thing is, you also, what I've noticed is you're getting a lot of these games that are being, I don't know, they look like rehashes with the 3D engine. What they call it? What's that engine? Bloody hell, everyone's Unreal Engine, right? And you're seeing all these projects popping up with that. And the thing is, there's no substance, right? Eventually, people will put those down and they'll go to something that has real playability and substance. And that's something that I know from top level gamers who literally they earn a living through playing games. And I think that's the dream of Valhalla, Mr. Brown, is it not?
100% again. Like, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That's what we try to do. We can obviously everybody can create a game, but not everybody can create a fun game, a game that's handcrafted, basically. Like I've seen this, like what Sabre was referring to, asset flip projects and whatnot. But yeah, as a final note to what makes us different, our community, the Vikings. I mean, imagine 400,000 plus holders leveraging whatever marketing Sabre is going to do. And imagine not thinking that it will be a success. That's it.
I mean, I see where you're going with that. It's hard to argue with those kinds of numbers. There is power in numbers, like they say. So now that we understand some of the mechanics behind how that's going to work, there's a lot of exciting things with Valhalla and the Metaverse project. Last thing from our side, there's a lot coming up, and there's a lot that you're working on. Where can our audience follow news from Floki, and where can our audience follow both of you guys personally as well?
Yeah, okay. Shall I start, Sabre? I think you can follow us in our Telegram. I don't know if it's handy to spell out the Telegram. Perhaps people will find a link below this this interview. But yeah, you can also follow us on Twitter. We're also in Discord. Valhalla.game is the URL for the game. Floki.com is the URL for our project. So yeah, definitely check us out. Sabre, anything to add?
Yeah, no, that's it really. That's hit the nail on the head. So obviously, obviously yourself on Twitter, and yeah, by all means, join the community. It's an infectious community, and yeah, we're excited for the future. And there's a few things cooking up.
That's great, guys. There's a lot to look forward to. I know I'm definitely going to be joining that infectious community and seeing what comes up next. Sabre, Floki, head of marketing, core strategist, MrBrownWhale, core strategist, and Valhalla lead. Thank you guys both for being with us today.
Thank you, man. God bless. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.